Right. War and I call this meeting of the City Council to order at 6 o'clock on May 21st, 2025. I will now have us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, they're moved.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation for God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will now take roll call. Mayor Rod Cross is excused. I'm Kim Bush, I'm here. Jackie Hoffman, here. Tracy Mix, here. Andrew Keating, here. Jackie Burns, and Frank Sylvia.
Yes, sir.
Have everyone here noting mayor's absence, and we have a forum. We can start with our presentation from the Atlanta Pacific Railroad Historical Society and Toledo History Center.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm assuming I should sit here. Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. So yeah, my name is Lisa Watson. I work down at the Atlanta Pacific Railroad Historical Society, and I'm here tonight on behalf of that museum and then also the Toledo History Center. I'm sure the budget committee remembers, me and Brenda came and spoke to you about our need for funding. And so I'm here tonight to just kind of remind y'all of what we do and how important we are to this community. So we could actually go. Oh, I can turn it on. That's my bad. Sorry. Okay. So, yeah, again, we're here. Two valuable community attractions that need you because our funding is in kind of a state of limbo right now. So I need to point up there. I think I skipped one. There it is. Okay, I'm sorry. Looks like the formatting got a little bit wonky, so bear with me. So first off, the Toledo History Center, I sincerely hope everyone gets a chance to visit. It is open 5 days a week, all year long, free admission. They collect, preserve, and display artifacts, and some of their photo collections are absolutely stunning. They do participate in community events and are aligned with the Chamber of Commerce as well, participating in Halloween on Main Street and anywhere that's applicable for them. They have been known to host rotating exhibits. And again, they are all volunteer ran. Some of the people there have so many stories and history of Toledo. It's a really, really special place. And also, they will be celebrating their 20th year anniversary this year. So very, very exciting. The other organization, of course, is the Atlanta Pacific Railroad Historical Society. And I know a lot of y'all have been there, so thank you. But we are also open 5 days a week, all year round. We charge zero admission. We participate in and out of county events. So we go to swap meets, train shows, and really drum up tourism for Toledo. I've had many people that have attended these shows come to Toledo specifically because we were represented at these events. In fact, both of our organizations have hosted not only out of state, but out of country individuals as well, which is very exciting. We also do a really important job of promoting railroad safety down at the Railroad Museum with the support of Operation Lifesaver, which is a national nonprofit. And so we educate the little ones, the big ones, everyone about railroad safety, especially with it being so prevalent in our community. We also work on partnering with other organizations as well, the Public Library, Chamber of Commerce, Port of Toledo. We've had school visits, we've had homeschool co-ops come down. So again, wherever we're applicable, we're striving to be a resource. And so again, both of our organizations, we see probably over 2,000 visitors annually. So on a fiscal year basis, the Toledo History Center has already hit their goal. They've seen 2,001 people since April 30th, and that's fiscal year starts July 1st. Us, on the other hand, counts a little low because we did have some closures due to our main access ramp project. That was this massive grant we got from Travel Oregon, improving accessibility by making our ramp meet ADA slope standards. It's been a huge success. Everybody's been really happy with it. As I said, the History Center is celebrating their 20th year anniversary. So keep an eye out because there's going to be a big to-do. It's going to be really, really fun. And we have been, the Railroad Museum has been in operation for 32 years. And so also just to really drive it home, these are Google searches. When you look up Toledo, you're going to see the train, which is the Railroad Museum. Things to see and do, that's on TripAdvisor. You see the Toledo History Center and the Railroad Museum. We're pretty synonymous with this community. And so I think it really gives people something to explore and do. And just beyond the tourist attraction, we're preserving Toledo's history, which I think is vastly important because if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. And so, yeah, finally, we need help in the operational funds. Both of our organizations go out for grants whenever possible. I've applied for the Oregon Community Foundation operating grant cycle every single year. I am constantly denied. Its operating funds are really hard to come by. When it comes to projects, that's totally a different story. I know the Toledo History Center just received grant funds for improving lighting and safety in their building. And so wherever we can, we're improving. But if we're having to worry about our operational funding, it makes it really difficult to get these projects done. And so again, we're just, pleading for the help with Lincoln County. We're in a state of limbo. I've appealed to them on behalf of all the museums, but things are going up. Prices of insurance and rent and everything is steadily increasing, and we're having a hard time keeping pace with it. And so I just want to say thank you so much for your time and listening to all about these museums. And if there's any questions.
I have one.
Yeah.
Actually, so when y'all met, Museum
Yes.
Coalition, what was the outcome of that?
So all 5 county museums are funded. I believe it's through the transient room tax of Lincoln County. And so us museum heads are making it a thing to meet at least once a quarter. So we did meet up. We reached out to the county, just kind of being like, what's going on? An assistant said that it looks like contracts will be renewed, but she's an assistant, so it wasn't coming from a commissioner's mouth. So I attended the budget committee meeting, which was on Monday. It was their very first one. And basically I'm doing what I'm doing here today, just saying, hey, we're here. We need your help. We will not be able to operate without these funds. They didn't have any questions for me. It seemed promising. I didn't see any shocked expressions or things like that. But even if they do fund us at the current amount that they are, we're still coming in under our operational costs.
So one more thing.
Yes.
Was there a by when that you would hear from them about that?
It was just in a public comment section is when I spoke to the budget committee. And so when we've reached out and kind of been like, who should we speak to about this? We have gotten kind of non-answers.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to nail down a copy of the proposed budget for the county because that will show us where we're standing. Unfortunately, I've been unsuccessful in my search so far.
Why? Because that should be a public
I
document.
don't know. I just went on their website and I looked, and then even at that budget committee meeting, Casey Miller did say, we need to put a tile on our website. We need to make it more accessible. And so, I'm also not super tech savvy, so it could be me, but I believe the Lincoln County Historical Society director is on it and obtaining those. I know they're public. I know they're there. I just can't
Well, I
seem
mean-
to.
They're supposed to be public. It doesn't mean they're there.
Yeah, I think they were posted in weird places, like maybe like in the county building or something. Again, I'm sure it's user error. And so, but I do know that Monday was their first budget committee meeting. And so,
Is there a date typically that your contract signed each year that you can rely
I mean,
on?
honestly, it's been kind of weird.
Oh.
The whole contract thing is a new process. Before we used to just like report our budgets and at the end of the fiscal year and just kind of like, this is what we done and this is what we need. And they were like, oh, here you go. We had the new administrator come in and he's like, we need contracts, which,
Right.
you know, protects everyone. We're fine with that. But they've been getting like renewed at different times. It does seem kind of like an afterthought sometimes for them. So I'm assuming that we'll have an answer before the end of June, when the fiscal year ends. But again, we're in a kind of an I don't know
Do you
situation.
guys have enough funding to get you through to the end of June?
Yes, this is all for fiscal year, the next upcoming fiscal year. And so, you know, the Toledo History Center, their costs have gone up with the new building that they're in. I mean, I was talking to Brenda and they're limiting the amount of time they have the heat on due to the electricity bill. You know, so that's kind of the corners that we're cutting at this point, just
That's not really good for the artifacts either, when you have to take those kind of cutting corners. because
Exactly.
They need a stable environment to,
Mhm.
preserve those.
I mean, luckily their building is so much better than what they had. They were dealing with black mold in the place before. So even if it's a little chilly in there, I think the artifacts are in a much better home
Yeah, that's
than
true.
what they were. But yeah, it's just like, you know, we're having to come up with creative ways to kind of cut those corners and keep the funding where it's at. So.
What sort of runway are you looking at for the next fiscal year in terms of how long can you, with your current financial situation, sustain operations as they go?
Like if we didn't receive the funding from the county, that's pretty much my position. We'll be gone. And I know the Toledo History Center is completely volunteer ran. The Railroad Museum would have to drastically reduce hours, maybe opened on the weekends. If that, we just don't have that many volunteers.
Immediately?
And so might be able to do a quarter or so. I'm sorry, I did not look at our numbers before this. I should have. I'm working on getting our financial tracking all updated for the end of the fiscal year, but yeah, we're pretty much tight. Yeah, we're very tight.
When you get those numbers tied in, we don't want to rush you or push you or anything, but can you come back to us with those numbers?
Yeah.
So we have a better idea of what kind of help that we can give you guys, the amount of help that you're gonna need and.
Well, yeah, I know that our operating costs for the last fiscal year did range around 47,000. And we get about 30 from the county. So the additional support from the city
I think
is,
last year we gave you guys 12.
yes, 12 for both of our organizations.
Well, not each, right?
Yeah, each, yeah, 12. So it was 24,000
Yeah, okay,
in
okay.
total, but 12 each. And so yeah, it would be great, you know, but again, we're always looking for funds and new and different resources in different ways, so. Yeah, as soon as I do have my updated numbers, I can send them over to the budget committee for sure.
That would be wonderful. Well, the budget committee is.
Over.
Oh, okay.
We approved our budget last night. So
Okay,
we could just bring those to council.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So
that's
the
okay.
money that you received came out of the council strategic
Yes.
strategic fund.
Yes.
And so the money is there. We have that strategic fund available to the council to make investments into the community. And so you would come back to us and we would pull it out of there.
I see, okay, perfect, sorry.
No, that's
Not a council politics person.
You're fine.
I'm
That's
still
why we're
learning.
telling you.
But yeah, thank you so much for your time. I really hope that everybody can make it to the 20th year celebration at the History Center. We're gonna put together a like scavenger hunt and it's gonna be really, really fun.
And you'll come to us before that actually happens, when you have all the plans solidified and let us know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brenda's gonna be working on getting some formal invites out and things like that. And like I said, we're gonna make it a big deal.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna follow up with you
I was gonna make
individually
council then.
later on this week. I have some ideas for some funding sources.
Fabulous. I'm always open to new ideas. Anything helps. And so we do also get support from Georgia Pacific as well. I've submitted a grant application, so fingers crossed.
And I'd love to connect with you about your challenges with Oregon Community Foundation. I know that they are, they feel very strongly as an organization to funding rural projects. And so there's I don't want to like diminish the work that you're doing, but they have a relatively low threshold. So I'd love to kind of connect with you about what that application process has been.
Perfect.
And if there's a way I can help.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we click all the boxes, but we're obviously just not hitting that mark. And so that's why I've just been really persistent, hoping that pays off. But yes, thank you guys.
Bug me if I don't get to you by the end of the day.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, now we have the presentation from the Transportation Options Presentation, Oregon Cascades West Council of Governments.
Thank you. Thank you all for inviting me today. My name is Anna Duffy, and I am a staff member with Cascades West Council of Governments. I've been at the agency for just over 6 years and started out working in the call center with Rideline and moved up now into transportation options. So we have 5 components of transportation options. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Here we go. So you guys see the green screen here, the transportation? Okay, great, perfect.
No, we don't.
Nope, you don't see it. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Share. How about now?
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So Cascades West Transportation Option, again, it has 5 components. Our first component is the get there. Oh, come on. So we have Get There Oregon, the emergency ride home, that is a sub-component of Get There Oregon. We have CW Ride, we have travel training, and then of course we have Rideline, which is the non-emergent medical transportation for clients with Oregon Health Plan, IHN, and Samaritan Advantage Health Plan. So Get There Oregon is in partnership with the State of Oregon Department of Transportation to connect commuters going from home to their office. There's a lot of different programs that we have to offer incentives to walk, commute, bike, anything to save CO2 and get to where you need to go using alternative transportation besides single-use occupation vehicles. Right now we have our May bike challenge, and so we are encouraging people to, get on their bikes and log their trips, and then we have some really cool prizes that are available for people. To Get There Oregon, it's super easy to go to this website and you can register, and then you can connect with other commuters who are interested in carpooling in your area. Now, the emergency ride home is a subcomponent of Get There Oregon. So if you do commute with a fellow coworker, you get stranded, maybe that person needs to leave or you need to leave home early. Get There Oregon will reimburse you for up to $50 for an emergency ride home. You need to leave early for an emergency at home, or your rider needs to leave, your carpooler partner needs to leave, and so you're not going to be stranded. And again, we do reimburse up to $50 4 times a year. So that's a really cool feature with the Get There Oregon. CW Ride is a website that the Cascades West has developed, and what we've done is linked all the public transit agencies onto this one website, so you can figure out how to get from Lincoln City down to Walport, maybe all the way into the valley, all the way out to Sweet Home. And I did grab the screen up here. There's our Get There Oregon webpage. But here is the website for CW Ride, and so you can look at here's like a little video. We have the bus routes that show all the different systems here. How to get around. You can figure out from point A to point B. So just one little way to make it a little bit easier for people who are wanting, maybe they're new to the area and they just want to learn how can I get around our region. And this services all of Lincoln, Lynn, and Benton County. So again, if you are new to the area, I can provide travel training. I meet with people one-on-one. We look over either the CW ride or the different bus schedules, figuring out how to read a schedule, how to hop on and hop off a bus, how to figure out the stops, and just wherever it is that you want to go. Now, for Lincoln County, I haven't had an opportunity to meet anybody just because of the distance. I live in Salem, actually. I'm working remote, but in Lynn and Benton County, I do have that option to travel into Lebanon or Albany. But I'm definitely willing to come out to Toledo and meet with clients that are just wanting to become more familiar with the system and how it is that they're going to get on and off public transit. And then, of course, we end up here with RideLine. We have a new feature in the RideLine system. We have developed a member portal. So clients are now able to go onto that member portal. They can schedule trips. They can cancel a trip. They can check out who that transportation company is. It's going to take them from their home to their medical appointment and back home. And so it's a really great feature. We also offer mileage reimbursement, currently paying out at 46 cents per mile. And so there's a lot of really great things that we can offer those clients with the Oregon Health Plan, IHN, and Samaritan Advantage. One extra feature that Samaritan Advantage clients can receive is typically it's just for medical transportation, but if you have Samaritan Advantage, we do offer trips to the grocery store, to your local gym, for Saturday or Sunday worship services. So anything that's going to enhance that client's health with Samaritan Advantage, we can offer that transportation as well. And that concludes my presentation. Is there any questions?
Does anyone have any questions? No. How do you guys advertise this sort of coming to city council meetings?
So we do have a lot of information. We actually had a couple of billboards up last year. I do a lot of community events. So I was just at the Cinco de Mayo Loyalty Days in Newport. I attend events in Lincoln City. I was at a Walport resource fair recently. Got invited to June 6th in Alsea. So we just do a lot of community tabling events and have information that clients can pick up. We try to get as much out on Facebook about the Cascades West and all the other services that we provide as well.
Is there a way to put a sign up at the bus stops here about it?
Yes, definitely. I do plan on being in Newport soon, and I will look into where we have signage about all of the programs that we offer.
This could really help our community. We have a lot of walkers in town that, can't leave town and because of vehicle, not having a vehicle or whatever. So yeah. Really good information to get out there.
Yeah, and we do have a Cascades West office there in Toledo. And so we do have all the pamphlet information available, but I will make sure to have information at the different bus stops as well, making sure that we have signage there too.
Maybe even in the water bill. With the newsletter, could we?
I was just going to ask if we have
Well, their office is right there.
it's right across.
Yeah, I live here
You
and
can
I
walk in and see
I
all their interesting pamphlets about programs and not just their stuff, but other stuff.
It's directly across the street from here.
Yeah, I know the building. I just never had a reason.
Go on in.
I guess I gotta go in.
Or the thought that that a general member of the public would know to go there for this type of.
Yeah,
stuff,
right.
So my question was kind of looking toward Lisa, but does our website have like a community resources
It does,
section with information like
and I can
this?
add that information on there.
That would be good.
That's a great idea.
We do also have this display case out here if somebody wants it.
That's the other thing I was thinking.
Yep.
Someone just run across the street, fistful of pamphlets.
Run out like you're a crazy person, like you just robbed something, sure. You're like, it's like we're nuts.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Yeah,
Unless somebody
you're
else has a
welcome.
question.
And Lisa, I can get some more information that you can print and have it on display there. We do have the CW Ride brochure in the Toledo office, as well as some of the packets on Bride line.
Everybody say that.
All right, well, take care and have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Is that part of
Yep,
the question?
that was who I asked to come in.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to put it together, brother.
All right, now we have a big crowd tonight from the Chamber of Commerce and we have a presentation.
There's only one chair.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kathy Crane, the Executive Director of the Toledo Chamber of Commerce. And what I'm going to do tonight is take you through our calendar of events and everything we do as a chamber throughout the year. So, first of all, I would like my board to stand up. Everybody stand up. It's on the board. Volunteers. I just want to say that without these people, nothing would happen. This organization is run exclusively by volunteers, and these are the people that make it happen. So thank you guys so much for this.
T-shirt. Great.
I didn't know.
Actually, the t-shirts were for the people that are volunteering on one of our events here that I'll tell you about in a few minutes. Can you hear me, everybody? Because I have a really soft voice. I think you can hear me. Okay. All right, so we'll start out with our Valentine's Day Heart Program. This is one of the most popular programs in Toledo, and it's a great fundraiser. There are 62 large hearts that are limited by the number of lampposts in Toledo. They stay up the entire month of February. People purchase hearts with their name and the name of their Valentine on them. They're hung up all over Toledo lampposts and are lighted. There is always a waiting list for these hearts. People don't give them up unless they move out of town or someone passes on. We charge $50 for a new one, $35 for a renewal. And they definitely require a lot of maintenance because of the heating they take out in the weather. Maintenance is done exclusively by volunteers, mainly Terry Strom, who paints them and puts the names on them, and George Crane, who cuts them out of plywood. The Toledo Active Group hangs the hearts and takes them down. Because of the popularity of these hearts, 2 years ago, we started a program of smaller hearts, hoping that we could get some other people to be able to have hearts because the large ones are always sold out. We charge $15 for a new one and $10 for a renewal. Last year, we sold 55 of those. So they are popular. Later in the month of February, we do the Newport Seafood and Wine Festival. The Chamber has had a booth at this event for close to 20 years. Here we sell wine and mimosas. This is the largest fundraiser for the Chamber. It is 4 days of sometimes grueling manning of the booth. Last year it rained heavily and the tent leaked. And we were walking around in about 3 inches of water trying to man our booth and sell wine. One year it snowed and the event had to be canceled for a day because the roads were all closed. So we didn't get to do 1 day of that event. We could hardly get out of our driveway to get to Newport. Many of us buy heated jackets to keep warm. But even with all of this, it really turns out to be a real lot of fun. It's just fun seeing all the people and coming by the booth. And we had such a run on mimosas last year that we ran out of everything. It was really something. The booth is incredible and reusable every year. We only have to change the direction according to the theme, or the decorations according to the theme of the event. It was built by George Crane and Daphne Gadare and is stored in our storage facility. Our winery for the past 4 years is Trinchero Family Estates, and they have served us really, really well. Then we move on to the summertime where we have our waterfront market. This event happens in June through August on Thursdays, and some of you have been to it, I know, and on Memorial Field. This year, we have over 37 vendors signed up. This is like a first. We've got a ton of vendors wanting to sell their wares this year. Our food vendor this year will be Daniel Romero, the owner of the coffee house in Newport. He will sell various items, including chowder and grilled cheese sandwiches and a lot more. He's really excited about doing it. Last year's market brought in over 200 shoppers per market day from 55 cities in Oregon, 23 US states, and 2 countries. These are only the ones we could count. We have a raffle that we do every hour during the day, and we have people sign up so that we can count them. If they don't want to sign up, we try to count them anyway with a clicker to see, to at least get a click on how many people are coming through. But we have no way of knowing where they're from. The winners of the raffle are thrilled. They get to pick their prize. There's a list of prizes and there's some sitting around on the table and they get to pick out what they want. And there are gift certificates from Clearwater and Georgie's and some really Moe's and our cafe and our all of our restaurants here in Toledo. So there's some really good prizes. So they get to pick what they want and then we take their picture and post the winners on Facebook, the chamber page, the community page, the Toledo Tribune, and more. So they're real excited. They always make comments about, especially their friends, they comment on their pictures. The prizes are donated by every vendor, restaurants in Toledo and Newport, and other businesses in Toledo. We put banners and sandwich boards up all over Toledo, and Public Works puts the banners up on the west entrance on Business Highway 20 and East Highway 20 junction. And I just want to give a shout out to Public Works because they are so great to us. I mean, they help us out whenever we ask them for anything, they're right there. They make sure that the field is ready for us. And anytime we have a question, they're right there to help us. So I just wanted to give them a shout out on what a great job they're doing.
Hey, we love those guys.
Yeah, they're great. They're really great.
I'll relay your sentiment.
Oh, please,
Relay your sentiment.
please do, because they are just wonderful. So the next thing, now you'll know why we're all wearing t-shirts. Because this is the crew of people that are the volunteers for our Toledo Classic Car Expo and Swap Meet. And this will be held on June 22nd. We wanted to make this bigger and better than ever to get more cars signed up and more people to Toledo. Therefore, we need sponsors to help us out with this because our budget at the chamber only allowed us to do certain things and we really wanted to do more. And I have to tell you, the community really stepped up. Our Georgia Pacific gave us a large grant for this event along with doll disposal. The other sponsors included Brewster Enterprises, BMO Bank, Oregon Coast Bank, JC Thriftway Market, Pioneer Printing, Toledo Auto Parts, Toledo Car Clinic, Dairy Queen, Do It Best Hardware, Walport High School, Winos, Dingbacks and Riff Raff, Port of Toledo, Toledo Active Group, and the Toledo Chamber of Commerce. So we got a lot of support and we're just being able to do a lot more.
Toledo Chamber of Commerce supported the Toledo Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, always. These sponsors donated cash and prizes and volunteer time. Because of these sponsors, we can have much more effective advertising, a raffle for the car and motorcycle entrance, a car corral where people can come and sell whatever car they would like to sell, a professional cornhole tournament, a professional announcer who does a lot of car shows and has a surround sound system so that everybody can hear the music and the announcements that he's making. He is the president of a car club himself and is on the radio in Salem every week and has been talking about our show for weeks and passes out our flyers at all the car shows he MCs at. So we're getting a lot of publicity all over, and our Facebook advertising reaches all the way to Eugene and Salem, and we're always getting comments about, our show because it's getting really a lot of publicity. Our volunteers, Terry and Stu Strom, offer a free pancake to the car entrance. And there are 3 other food vendors, Patty Mac's Barbecue, a Mexican food vendor, and hot dogs that will be sold this year by Habitat for Humanity. The trophies this year were made by Walport High School, along with the t-shirts that will be on sale for magnets and decals to give away. The trophies were made by the Toledo Junior Senior High School in the past, but unfortunately they had no space for us this year. So the principal stepped up and found this Wallport High to make them for us. They also have the capability to print t-shirts and make decals and magnets. So they did a great job for us. We will have raffles every hour for the entrance and we'll conduct a 50. We have the event listed on many car club sites and calendars. Advertising is running in Lincoln County Leader, Oregon Coast Today, and on Facebook. Flyers have been placed all over Toledo and the Post. A banner will be hung on the post on Highway 20, on the Highway 20 junction across from Dairy Queen. We invite you all to come and participate in this event because it's really going to be huge and really it's a lot of fun. We have the car entrance on one side, the swap meet vendors in the middle, and we have the cornhole tournament on the other side. So there's a lot going on. It's really a lot of fun. And then we move on to August, where we sponsor the pancake breakfast and lunch at the Wooden Boat Show. This is conducted exclusively by volunteers, primarily Terry Strom, who has all of the equipment. And the board members and community volunteers sign up to man the various shifts. This is another fundraiser for the chamber. Then we move on to October, where we do trick or treat on Main Street. This is a very popular event every year on Halloween for the kids. Store owners on Main Street stay open until 6 p.m. and hand out candy and treats in front of their businesses. In order to keep the businesses on Main, we have, in order to help the businesses on Main Street, we had JC Thriftway Market do a roundup for us. They earned over $800. With this money, I bought candy and distributed it to the store owners to supplement what they had already bought. And it's really interesting because this event grows every single year. And the store owners can never predict how much candy to buy. And they're always running out. And so I have this stash. I always tell them I have a stash. I think we helped you out, Andrew, last year with sorry. So last year, over 1,000 children in costumes, not in counting their parents and grandparents, came to Main Street to pick up their treats. And so you can imagine how many people were on Main Street.
And it was pouring.
It was raining on top of it.
They didn't care.
They didn't care, it didn't keep them away. It is a safe place for trick-or-treaters, and I think that's why parents bring them down there because it's safe. Flyers are distributed all over the city, posted on the Toledo Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, Toledo Community page, City of Toledo Facebook page, Toledo Tribune, and the Chamber Weekly News flashes. Notices for this event are distributed electronically to the students by the Lincoln County School District. This is fun for everyone and acquaints so many people with our Main Street businesses. Because there are so many businesses that are closed in Toledo, Main Street, we encouraged other businesses not on Main Street to set up a trunk or treat station so that there is a lot of activity for the kids. These included doll disposal service, who bought a dump truck to the event and handed out goodies. The little boys absolutely loved the truck. I had one, and we had a fire truck there one year. And I heard one little mom ask her little boy, do you want to go see the fire truck or do you want to go see the dump truck? I want to go see the dump truck. It was so cute. You know, they love the trucks. So other that set up were including West Schwab, Toledo Active Group, Toledo Library, Toledo Fire Department, Toledo Pool, Table Mountain Forestry, Toledo Dental Care, Shoreside Industries, Toledo Railroad Museum, and more joined in the fun. We will encourage the same kind of community involvement every year. We placed them along Main Street in front of the closed shops so that we had a continuous flow of candy givers all up and down Main Street. Because in the previous years, people kind of set up where they wanted to, so we had all these vacant spots on Main Street where there were shops that were closed. So we decided this year we'll place some people all in front of those, so it made it much nicer. So then moving on, getting in towards November and the holiday season, We do a jingle and mingle event every year. This year it will be on November 5th, but I would really like to keep that open to make sure it's not on one of your city council meeting nights, because it is on a Wednesday. Wednesday is the only night that we can do it at the weekend, and this was supposed to be kind of an after dinner, after work kind of thing. So,
We do have a council meeting that night.
okay, well, then I'll try to change the date for the following week, so some of you can attend. This is a complimentary pre-holiday event for chamber members and waterfront market vendors in appreciation for their membership and support. We serve complimentary champagne and hors d'oeuvres for everyone. Anyone can come up and tell us about their business or announce any events they have coming up. We have a raffle where we give away a free membership to one of our members. And space and booth fees for the waterfront market. And more, there's more on the raffle besides those two things, but we give one membership away and one person gets some space fees paid for them. It is a well-attended event with over 100 people at the party and several VIPs from Lincoln County that seem to attend as well. Then we move on to the holiday wreaths. We store these wreaths in our storage facility all year, and these too require a lot of maintenance due to the beating they take in the weather. And these are the wreaths that go up all over Toledo. I'm sure you guys have seen them many times. We have to change bows and ornaments and lights if they are out, and some require welding. Again, this is done by our volunteers. Our city public works guys hang them up and take them down. Then we move on to our Christmas program, our Christmas tree lighting, umbrella parade, and community party. This event happens the Saturday after Thanksgiving. This year, the tree will be provided by Table Mountain Forestry and decorated by Table Mountain and Doll Disposal. The umbrella parade is organized and conducted by Denise March as part of the city and a chamber board member. The parade runs down Main Street to the end of the street in front of Cobblestone Pizza, where the Christmas tree is lighted. Then the parade continues to the Elks Lodge, where we have a community party with free hot chocolate, cider, and cookies. Santa is there to greet the kids. Sweet Annaline serenades us with Christmas song. And there is a craft table for the kids to participate in. The trophies for the winners of the umbrella parade are awarded at this event. Okay, so then, street signs on Highway 20. The chamber is responsible for those yellow street signs that you see at various places on Highway 20. We try to update these as businesses come and go, and they kind of are in need of repair right now, so that'll be one of our next projects. The other thing I do is I meet with ACVA, or Oregon Coastal Visitors Association, and all the coastal chambers quarterly. We exchange ideas and information. We are listed on all of their websites and visitor sites. We also, I know that you have one of these or some of these in your possession here. We created this relocation packet, which gives all the information you ever wanted to know about Toledo in it. And it was sponsored by many of the businesses in town. Put ads in here. And so many of our businesses have these. Georgia Pacific uses them a lot, and anybody that hires anybody likes to have these to hand them out to their own hires. We also reprinted this brochure, which had been done by Georgia Pacific quite a while ago. And but it was very, very outdated. So we redid this. Now it's current, and there's also one of those in this packet. And anybody that wants to use these for their events to hand out is welcome to do so. And just, I might say, your city helped us with the paid half of this print. So you guys can have as many as you want to use, and anybody else in the community can use them as well. They're really nice and say a lot about Toledo. So that kind of concludes my programs. And I want to thank you for having me here today and ask if you have any questions.
You don't have any questions?
Can I just say one little thing? So Kathy does all this part-time. She's only paid part-time and all of that is done
Thanks.
by a
Terry.
part-time wage earner. Appreciate her.
Well, thank you.
I want to add another thing that Kathy does that is the fundraising for the flower basket program, which is done entirely by donations from individuals. They have to mail out and the city works, puts the flowers up, which is, they are beautiful flower baskets and
They are.
the envy of many cities.
What I do is I work with Marnie and I give her a list of, I have a list on my computer of the people who donated. And she sends out the messages or the flyers, and then the money just comes to me. And I record and deposit the money and send it to her so she can send him a thank you note. So it's kind of a joint project, but thanks, Greg. Okay, anything else from anybody?
Just one thing, one thing that I'm curious about is your presentation was very focused on events and how we bring people to Toledo. But the Chamber of Commerce is a membership organization with local businesses as the driving members, right? So I guess what I'm curious about is, what are the benefits to the businesses of our community? Because I think I look at our Main Street, and you made a good point of how many of our businesses are closing on Main Street, how many of them are vacant, and how much that can be highlighted as we're doing like the Halloween type of trick or treating thing and wanting to put a bunch of people in front of those vacant buildings. Our businesses are continuing to close. It's getting harder and harder to do business here. What programs does the Chamber of Commerce have, or what are the benefits to being a member of the Chamber of Commerce that can actually help stimulate business or increase the viability of doing business for your members in Toledo?
Well, what we do for our members is we do unlimited advertising for them.
Where?
On our Facebook page, which has over 2,500 followers, and we get continual responses off of that page. We had one of our vendors who's a painter, and she said she moved to town, and she said I got the most responses from the Facebook ad that we posted for her. So when a member becomes a member, they get a shout out on Facebook and all of the other news flashes that we do every Friday. We talk about their business, we tell people where they're located, and we have everyone's logos and we put those up. They also get another shout out whenever they renew their membership. And I always try to tell them, don't forget during the year. The reason I started doing these shout outs was because people forgot that they have the benefit of just calling me and sending me a flyer, and they're gonna get it posted. And it's gonna go all over to the 2,500. And I also posted on the community page, which has another 3,000 responses. And so they get a lot of publicity from us. We also do grand openings for new businesses that come into town. And we'll do, with anything that they want us to do, we're pretty much open to doing. Because we're pretty much focused on trying to get traffic into Toledo, and most of our programs are designed to do that, with the exception of, like the Hearts, because that's a community program. And that's something that people absolutely love, so, But as far as the market and the car show and those kind of events are primarily to get people to come into Toledo and go to our businesses and visit the Main Street. And many of them do that. They come to the market and they say, where's Main Street? We want to go, and is that thrift shop still open? And, so a lot of the people that come since they come from all over, they're in Toledo, so they want to do a little sightseeing. So they go down to the Main Street and shop.
Is there anything that you're hearing from members, or, recognizing that you've been doing this for a while and your membership has obviously been And I say membership has been struggling, more businesses are closing. As I said, it's getting harder and harder for businesses to sustain here in Toledo. What can we do as a city, or what do your members need from, from the city? Is this something that you can speak to, that we can help?
Well, I think you're doing a survey pretty soon, right? And that we're hoping to get a lot of information from what more we can do. And that, and yeah, I mean.
Well, that's a different question. So the survey just, I think you all know I'm on the board of the Toledo Chamber.
No, I didn't know that.
And so I drafted a member satisfaction and engagement survey for the chamber. So that's a different point, right? So this is more, I'm thinking when I say I say the city of Toledo. You as sort of a representative of your membership, the chamber as a representative of its members. What are some things that, putting that different hat on city councilor as opposed to Toledo Chamber board member, what are some things that you could speak to that the membership is experiencing? Advocate for the businesses that are in your membership, right? That's what I'm asking for, is what can we do?
Sure how to answer that. Understand the question.
If businesses are closing consistently in our community, and those businesses are likely members, former members, or businesses that you're engaging with, what are the challenges that they're facing that we can help address, and what perspective can you offer as
I think
as an agent for your members?
Facing is they're not getting a lot of traffic on Main Street. They're not, they're just, I think a lot of businesses come in and Toledo is such a small city. We need people to go in with a business that people want to go to, and they want things that they want to buy. So I think a lot of the people that come in have high goals that they just don't meet because of the traffic or because of the merchandise that they carry. And yeah, I would love to see more businesses come in. That's been a tough thing. But we're maintaining our membership pretty much. I mean, we have over 100 members, and there's very rare that one of them goes out. And when one of them does go out, another one signs up. So I have members calling me and just wanting to be a member, and even individuals. We have one of our individuals here tonight, Karen Ashner, who just wanted to help support the chamber, and so she became an individual member.
More questions? No. Thank you very much for your presentation. You're welcome. Well, I left some flyers over here too, for the portable. Thank you.
Kathy.
Did you all want to stay for the rest of the meeting, or do you want us to give you a minute to escape?
Yeah, I think.
You're all welcome to stay and, have a nice nighttime. Story.
Holding them hostage, come on.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
I would really
Thank you all.
appreciate your support.
Awesome shirts.
Thank you.
Thank you all for volunteering for there.
Thank you.
I cleared out the house.
I know, I didn't want them to have to sit through everything else. All right, we have come to the point where we are going to visitors and public comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak? Come up, state your name.
Something.
Oh, something not on the agenda, sure. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Denise Marsh. And I am here, I was here on behalf of the chamber, but I am also on the Summerfest committee. And I am here tonight just with a little bit of information. The Summerfest is coming up. The committee, we meet all year long. At this time of year, we start meeting twice a month. Other than that, we met once a month, planning and getting ready for this year's Summerfest. It's going to be better than ever. Our theme this summer is Bright Light Summer Nights. And the dates are July 11th through the 13th this year. So a little bit of a change. It's usually the third weekend. We're very dependent on when the carnival can come. So that's the weekend that we will be having the Summerfest.
What was the name of it again? Bright Lights what?
Bright Lights Summer Nights.
Like that.
Yeah, it's
Sexy.
right. It lends itself to lots of fun things.
It is.
I specifically am on the parade committee. And I've planned the kiddie parade. The kiddie parade is always the Friday of the Summerfest, the first day. The kiddie parade starts at the library and then we travel down Main Street and end at Cobblestone. I have a day where kids can come and decorate their wagons and bikes and themselves so that we can make it festive. And then there's the grand parade the next day, Saturday. It's at 11 a.m. And I recall pre-COVID when the city council would have a float. And it was awesome.
Oh, yeah,
And I
all the
loved
time.
seeing it.
I don't remember that at all. Told me this?
Well, I am here to tell you about it.
She's making it up. I don't think it ever happened.
What did it look like? I mean, was it?
I remember one specifically where the theme
Yeah,
was.
the trees
theme
and-
song. I mean, but it never happened. It never happened, but it was so cool.
I had a trailer.
Everyone loved it.
It's got dirt on it right now. You're gonna have dirt on it. And logs.
So I'm just here to plant the seed and
Oh, you've
be
got
thinking of ideas that go along with our theme, and we would sure love to have you guys in the parade.
We can't throw candy down.
Why?
We might interest
I
somebody.
was gonna say, can we toss it gently?
I know I'm gonna be in the parade with the library
They don't-
and we walk along and you can hand out, we're gonna be handing out stickers, things you can hand out. But if you're interested, and I hope you are, the application for the parade, this Toledo Summerfest has a Facebook page. And the parade application is on there. I'd be happy to drop one off. If anyone wants to get in touch with me, I'd get the parade application to you.
Look it up for me.
I will do that. But I just wanted to get the information out there. It's coming. It's gonna be great, and we would love to have you on board.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
Thank
Grand
you.
Parade Saturday, you said, right?
Yes, the grand parade is Saturday at
11.
11. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So timing.
So was it a cheesy float?
No,
No.
no, they had
It
some
was
good
fun.
ones.
Oh,
Some good ones, yeah.
And we had a big banner and some of us would walk with the banner sometimes and.
Oh, we all dress up like mermaids?
So the last one, I remember they all dressed
How
up
is
as
that gonna-
steampunk. And they were long, and then with COVID, quit doing it.
You're gonna be a mermaid.
How can you be a mermaid for
I don't know.
bright lights and
banana.
summer nights?
It could be sparkling.
Ariel.
Okay, on with the show.
All right, moving on. All right.
Well, not that, this
We wanna
is
get out
a
of
work session.
Is there anybody online who would like to speak?
If there's anyone online who'd like to speak, please raise your hand electronically and you will be recognized. I see no hands raised.
Perfect.
Anybody else here? that-
Barry, are you feeling okay?
I'm okay, I'm good. Thank you. I was gonna say something, but you got a long night, we just go.
Okay, you got 3 minutes.
That's okay.
Okay,
Yes, you can say. Thank you.
Jerry, bye.
we are moving on to the consent agenda.
Needs to be change on the minutes from March 26th. It has Stu Strom listed. It needs to be changed to Henry Keating.
It sure does.
And then I
That
have
crazy recorder.
That's okay. Good help is so hard to
What?
find.
Yeah, we're looking at the minutes from March 26th,
Not the executive session.
April 2nd, executive session held May 7th, and the special work session held May 14th. We can do it all at once, right?
Yeah,
you can move the entire consent agenda in one.
Need to move the entire
No.
consent.
No, you're not moving to do it.
want to pull something off.
Okay.
So there are two things. One is the edit that Frank brought up that on March 26th work session minutes. In the roll call, it states that Stu Strom was present when it was me that was present. So that edit, and then the only thing that I wanted to bring up was a question for the city manager about the interim city recorder authorization.
What I would suggest is take off the items that you have questions about, move the balance of the consent agenda, and then let's come back to the two items and treat them individually.
So let's pull that one off. interim city recorder. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Or what we could do is we could approve them one at a time. And then just do it quickly. Well, how's this? I move to remove authorizing the city manager to hire an interim city recorder. We'll like to remove that temporarily from the consent agenda. And then
Move it to discussion.
move it to discussion. And then I further move to authorize or approve the consent agenda, the remaining consent agenda as amended.
Second.
So let me suggest in terms of how you manage a consent agenda, it only takes one person to remove an item from the consent agenda because the consent agenda is unanimous approval of a slate of items. So if one person, yourself, Councilor Mix, wishes to remove something, just say, I want this item removed. And if anybody else wants anything removed, then they have it removed, and then the balance gets moved. And the balance comes under, I move to approve the consent agenda.
So do you want me to reword that appropriately?
Huh?
You want me to reword that then?
I would, it's good practice.
Practice, but no, okay. Anyway, I would ask to remove the authorizing the city manager to hire an interim city recorder. I'd like to move that to a discussion item. And then after that, I move to authorize or approve the consent agenda, noting the amendment to the March 26, 2025 work session. And
That's it.
yeah, that's
We
it.
second.
Second.
Who's second this?
Me.
Okay,
Frank.
got it. Okay. He got it the first time, so I'll give it to him.
Moved by Tracy, seconded by Frank. Moving the authorizing the city manager to hire an interim city recorder to the discussion decision items. I will take a roll call vote. Jackie Kaufman.
No, it's to approve the consent agenda, not to move that.
I'm sorry.
We've already moved the,
Yeah, we haven't moved it.
the authorization to the discussion items.
So do I take a vote for
It's a
the,
motion and second on approving the consent
Consent
agenda
agenda.
as amended.
okay,
That's all you have to do.
that, so I'm taking a roll call vote.
You're gonna take a
Okay.
roll call vote.
That,
And you're gonna do myself last and him
Right before
Right.
that.
before, yes, okay, I'm learning. Jackie Kaufman.
Yes.
Jackie Burns.
Yes.
Yes.
Me, yes. The mayor's not here.
Frank.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Tracy.
Yes.
Okay, it's unanimous, noting the absence of Mayor Cross. Okay, moving on to,
we're gonna discuss the authorization of the city manager to hire an interim. city
yes.
Do we want to do that last or do we want to do?
I figured
I'd do it
Oh.
first.
Well, I think he's just got one question, so.
Okay, so that's page 18 and 56, if you guys want to go to that page on your computer.
Yeah.
And let's discuss authorizing the city manager to hire an interim city recorder.
Gosh, damn it.
And Andrew's got a.
Maybe we're cussing, but not actually cussing.
David, do you want to just give a quick introduction and maybe it'll answer my question?
I don't have somebody to introduce at the moment, but
No, he means just on this issue.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed. Yes, happy to do so. So as everybody who is aware, our illustrious city recorder, Lisa Figueroa, has tendered her resignation effective June 2nd. So a week from Monday will be her last day, I believe.
Can we get shackles and throw away the key?
No. But we can go visit her individually.
Can she work remote?
Right. So at this point, what we're trying to accomplish is find, at least for an interim city recorder as well as a regular city recorder to replace. I was hopeful of having an actual candidate to present to you for this evening. I don't. That person received an alternative offer of employment, full-time regular employment as a city manager, so took that work. I may have another arrangement, but in the meantime, I would like, given the exigencies of the time, to go ahead and have the authority to make the appointment and under the authority that you delegate per the charter.
David, would you
Without
like to
identifying
find shoes or whatever that word just was that you used?
Emergency.
Thank you.
And this is just for the interim city recorder though?
Yes. That's right. Yeah, I will.
Would we be waiting to get, hire a full-time city recorder until we get our full-time city manager?
That job is already posted
I'm sorry,
That
the
job's
job is
already
already posted, so that.
Oh, okay.
So we will be entertaining applications before that time.
Okay.
But just as a heads up, just so you're aware, on the screen above you, Savani Miller is our city attorney. She's available for any further legal issues you may have, as well as you see Shauna Gribskoff up there. She will be coming up in one of the agenda items as far as HR resource.
I saw that.
So they're there.
Who those faces were.
And of course,
Nice.
our finance director, Judy, is ever present, ever faithful.
Okay, so my question is the interim capacity, interim city recorder, is that intended to be hired as an employee or hired via services contract?
The response is I don't know. More likely than not, it would be a services contract.
Okay, so.
If it comes in as an employee, I will come back to you later for ratification of that choice by individual name.
So unless the services contract would exceed $25,000, and I know we have our city attorney on the line. You don't need our approval, and this doesn't need to be an item before us.
Do you think it will exceed that?
But if it turns out to be a person, I would have needed that authority.
So I think my concern is I'd like to.
I think we just give it to him just in case. I think we just do it.
Cause it could be a personal employment.
And then it could, what if they start out as interim, decide, hey, I love this city so much, I want to do full on employment, and then he doesn't have to turn around and ask us for additional permission
So
to make
my
that happen.
my concern is we have a job posted publicly, and I'm wondering whether or not, so again, we don't have human resources in place. I just don't know the answers to this question. But are there processes that we are required to follow for hiring an employee? I'd like to finish my question, please. That we would have to follow, that we could theoretically be circumventing by authorizing a hiring without going through those processes. And this is where I'm wondering if the expectation is that it would be a services contract, but it might be something else. Why not pursue the services contract that doesn't require those human resources processes, which again, I just don't know the answer to this question.
So two couple of thoughts on that. That's not a terrible proposal, but I guess that's the best I can do. Try to be positive. One, to the extent that it's a hiring of an individual beyond the only role you have in this, regardless, is up, down, approval, disapproval. You won't be considering the person. That is still going to be the city manager, or the city manager pro tem, or the city manager that makes those choices. Because of the charter, you're asked to approve or disapprove the hiring of an employee. Correct?
For the end.
But that is not, so what you'll see, and you'll see this come up once or twice more before we're all 10 years done with you. To assure you that. So your role again is approve, disapprove, and it's limited to that by the charter, and then that protects you as well as us. I mean, it preserves, that separation that you need.
We do have a job listing posted for a permanent city recorder position, but we do not have one posted for an interim city recorder position. So I guess, again, my question is, if we are hiring theoretically for that permanent city manager position while authorizing for the hiring of this interim, is there a process of posting a job that we are supposed to follow? That's what I'm getting at.
So again, the answer to your question is for the interim city manager. There's no requirement that we go through a formal hiring process. So that's done, that's being done again, not for exigent reasons, for emergency reasons, just to be clear on my language. Thank you. That is being done because of time constraints. So that's why we're looking promptly for an interim. That could turn out to be the person that might be interested in regular position. In that case, they will apply as long as they don't want other candidates to go through the same review as any other candidate, and that would be that would take the time that it takes to do that. Then if it's my hire, I would come back to you and say, this is the person that we want to hire for the regular position of city recorder.
So the short answer to my question, the short answer is that we do not have a policy that requires us to have a posting of an interim employment opportunity.
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
So I don't know whether or not this, I know city government is a little different than normal government office, normal other businesses. But very often, when you have a position that needs filled and you have to get a temporary worker or a contract worker, they generally don't have to meet the same requirements to hire that person because they're not considered a permanent employment. So generally, those people are, when you hire somebody in an interim capacity or a temp employee, you don't have to go through the same processes even in the mainstream that you would have to do if it was a permanent employee. So I think that also applies here. So
Thank you.
that's why it wasn't bothering me. So but anyway, but it is a good question. Is there something, making sure we're dotting all our i's and crossing our t's? Are we
And
ready?
it's just that term hire, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to entering into like a services
Yeah.
agreement or something.
Well, but at the time, he thought he had somebody that he was gonna hire, and then things have changed. So I think we just authorized him to hire
Fill
or
the position.
contract. I'd like to change it to hire or contract an individual. When, is that okay? So,
Thank you.
are you guys ready for motions?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I go to make a
fine,
motion,
thank you.
okay. So I move to authorize the city manager, the interim city manager to hire or contract an individual as interim city recorder.
Second.
All right, it was moved by
Wouldn't it
Tracy.
be and or?
You're right. Well,
No, just.
no, it wouldn't be and or, because you're not gonna hire and contract somebody. You're gonna hire or contract somebody.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
It's gonna be or. Did I say
Right.
or?
Yes,
Yeah.
you said or.
Make me question my
Seconded by
focus.
Andrew.
I need a cookie.
I will take a roll call vote. Jesse Kaufman. Frank.
Yes, ma'am.
Jackie Burns.
Yes, please.
Andrew.
Yes.
And me, yes. Unanimous, noting the absence of miracles.
Clarifying that, David.
Thank you. That was good.
Yeah, I'm learning. Every time you guys have one of these conversations, sometimes I just get confused, but most of the time I'm learning.
It's the interim aspect of it that makes me
It's
think if
weird.
it's time limited, that it might be
Yeah.
a services contract, but that helps. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be either or.
All right, we've approved reading.
Yay, Braden.
Written down. Oh, did I?
We
Question,
approved Brady to be the.
do we need to have our attorney on? I'm just thinking of money.
So yes.
We might have some stuff that we deal with later that we want to consult with
Okay.
on.
Yes, I do, for kind of during council.
I'm just thinking of the,
It is also in our city policies. I can't remember if it's in our charter or in our city council rules that the city attorney is present for all
that's
council
right.
meetings.
Oh, that's right.
I feel that.
Quickly, I forgot.
Yeah. Simple as get to know.
That's one of the reasons why I was asking if
Yeah. Yeah, where's,
it served as.
I don't have the doll thing on my discussion items, do I?
Yeah, no, yes, it is. It's the very top one on your
Oh,
discussion.
geez, Louise, I breezed. But I got sidetracked by our. Something around. The interim thing. That we should have done later. Okay. Rate review report on 20. Hello.
Respond to the attorney, that's okay.
Welcome.
I've only done a couple of these, so I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
So good evening, councilors. My name is Dave Larmuth. I'm the outreach manager for Dollar Disposal Service. I have just a couple things to review with you tonight. I guess the headline is there's no overall rate adjustment for most residential and commercial rates this year.
Say yay.
Sorry.
Yay.
Sure.
Yeah,
But how much does that
exciting.
mean we're gonna have next year?
So
See.
so, yeah, I can't predict that,
No,
but.
it's fine. I'm just teasing. It's okay.
So let's see, I did want to share with you, in case you hadn't heard, while we brought 7,000 tons of material from to Juneau in 2024, as we mentioned in our cover letter, we now received word that they've had a change in their status. I wouldn't say that they're closing because they haven't said that, but they have let us know that they won't be able to accept our waste on a daily basis anymore. And so I did want to let you know that now all the waste that we collect will be delivered to Coffin Butte landfill. Previously, the construction and demolition waste from drop boxes, construction projects, and public self-haul waste had a lot of components that didn't make it a good fit for the Juno project. Got a lot of drywall and lumber and metal and other things in it that didn't work with their process. So that material already went to the landfill. And then anytime that Juno or GP had a scheduled or unscheduled shutdown for maintenance and repairs, all the material went to Coffin Butte at that time as well. The important thing about that, obviously we're sad because it's cool.
It is
But
cool.
the important thing for us tonight is that there's no impact to collection company expense or rates due to that change.
That's what I found
That's
crazy.
amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for sure it would have.
Yeah, because when GP came and told us that Juno was now being, R&D,
Yeah, they're transferring it to an R&D facility
Yeah.
because they weren't making.
I thought for sure rates were gonna end up going way up and they didn't.
Right, so my understanding is before, it predates me by a couple of years. I'm still pretty new here. But my understanding was because it was always pitched as a short-term project, they couldn't promise us that that they would be running every day or that they would keep it open for any length of time. So the agreement that we made kept the tip fee the same as what we would have charged if we were taking the materials to the landfill. And so by doing that, that's why I can say there's not going to be a difference in our disposal costs.
That was wise.
Someone very smarter than me, a lot smarter than me. Someone smarter than me came up with that, so that's good. Okay, as you know, as you've heard from the chamber, we do try to stay involved in community events. We hosted the Easter egg hunt, which is between Dahl and Table Mountain. We're sort of the primary coordinators of that event. We do get a lot of other local business help sponsor us for that. And we've decided to sum up that event with numbers. It's 6,000 eggs, 3 hours of setup, 5 minutes of chaos.
I love it.
We have gotten some questions about donations and community events and organizations and school donations that come through. Questions about how that impacts our rate. So I did want to point out that any of those donations are subtracted out when we do the operating ratio. So operating ratio is allowable expenses. So donations and community support like that are excluded from those calculations. So the other thing that you'll find in your packet is a reviewed financial statement that accompanies our financial results and projections. Basically, an independent third-party CPA reviews our books and says, yes, these books look complete. It appears that they follow the generally accepted accounting principles. For a long time, I just called it GAAP, and I didn't know there were 2 A's, so I learned things.
You're forgiven.
So, like I said, there's no change to most of the rates. All the residential rates and the regular commercial rates are unchanged. We have made a few changes to the fees and Dropbox rates to standardize across the jurisdictions. Makes it a little easier for our staff and for contractors who work in multiple areas. The Dropbox ton rate should be the same, whether the garbage is coming from the rural county or from the city of Toledo or elsewhere. And same with daily rent. Some of those fees, I'm bringing some of that experience from my old job, and it makes it a lot easier for our customer service reps when those prices are the same, and then again helps out the customers to know that the numbers that they're putting together for a bid are going to match up with what they're going to be charged. The other thing I did want to mention is that we do have several different service options available. This is a question we get a lot from folks. We do have 3 different sizes of trash can, and it's the size of your trash can that determines your monthly collection rate. So there's 35 gallon, 65 gallon, and 95 gallon. We also offer 4 frequencies, so weekly, every other week, once a month, and then will call. And the will call service has a couple of extra requirements because you only pay us if you call us. We do require that if you want a recycling pickup for that month, you have to have called for a garbage collection pickup for that month because we don't charge separately for recycling collection. So there's sort of a package deal there. If you want us to come, we're happy to do it, but we'd like to come for all the cards. That's all I have prepared, but I'm happy to take questions about the rate sheets or the financials. Anything else you've got going on?
No, I'm just blown away that you guys barely raised anything. The only thing I've been seeing is it's just the boxes that you guys raised, and it's very minimal, like $8, $12. It's good.
I just want to commend you guys on doing such an amazing job. I have an office in Newport. Just say I chose to bring my garbage home and deal with Doll instead. My husband is a contractor and prefers to deliver to Doll. I wasn't gonna say that. But that's okay. But it's just, I think from the customer service down to the type, I mean, you guys have had a difficult time with drivers lately, but you always communicate. You always make sure people know, oh yeah, sorry, it's gonna be late. This is what's going on, but we will get you picked up tomorrow. And you don't try to charge the customers if you guys can't pick them up, you know, if something went wrong. So I just want to commend you guys on doing such a great job on serving the community and partnering. It's a phenomenal job, and it leads to very workable, very good relationship.
That's great to hear. I'll be sure and take that back to our team. Obviously, there's people at our company that work very hard every day. I'm not one of them. They'll be sure to tell you that. But our drivers work hard. Our customer service reps have a tough job to do. And you're right. We have had several service issues, and we have taken some steps to address that. We're hoping to hire an additional driver, and we've acquired an additional backup truck so that we can keep that running. We always have to find that balance. We like to run the operation as the boss says, lean and mean, because extra employees and extra trucks just add expense to the customers. So we have to find that balance of how do we run lean, but also maintain our commitment to providing service everyone is paying us.
Well, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Anything else? I think that's it then.
Thank you. And I believe the actual approval will happen at the June 4th meeting. So I'll see you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, we are moving on to the creation of human resources program.
So, sorry, you have in your packet my request for action on this one. On the line, in case you'd like to meet her, is Shauna Gribskov. This is who is setting up the program for us, the contract. And it will be, as a question came to me earlier, whether this will be a contract or an employee. This will be a contract arrangement. We'll work through the details, but roughly in keeping with the proposal you have in front of you. So what I'm looking for is hopefully a motion to approve this, and we can get her start working. She is ready to go as of this Tuesday. I believe she is arranged even lodging in town through her gentleman the far back. And so I don't know if you want to give Shauna a moment to introduce herself.
Yeah, Shauna, go ahead. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm certainly happy to introduce myself and put a face to the proposal that you see. My name is Shauna Gribsko, and I am a human resources professional. I've been doing specifically human resources for the past 13 plus years and a variety of industries, and have a full base of knowledge of human resources, but primarily my focus, just because I like it, you might think this is weird, but the compliance aspect of things. I've done a lot of protected leave. I've done a lot of policy writing, handbook update, which is something David and I have talked about, things like that. And we've got a starter list, some points of priorities that love to get going on and help everyone out and be a part of the community.
That sounds great. Yeah, sounds really good, right? Does anyone have any questions?
No, I'm excited for her to get
I
started.
know, we need this.
What is the estimated total cost of this contract?
Depends on how long she's retained, frankly, we all have it on an hourly basis, if we start getting close, well, actually since you're making the approval, we'll. Assuming that my limit is not an issue, since you're not subject to the limit, so really the only limits, the budget limits that we have.
Any other questions? And I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the May 16th, 2025 proposal by Shauna Gridskov, SHRM-CP PHR for the creation of the Toledo Human Resource Program and authorize the city manager to execute same.
Second.
Okay. All right, it was moved by Frank and seconded by Jackie. Do I have to read it again? And I will take a roll
Yeah,
call.
parliamentary procedure, she would have to.
I do, yeah, okay. So, what do I say before I read it? It was moved.
By me.
It was moved by Frank, seconded by Jackie to move to approve the May 16th, 2025 proposal by Shauna Gribskov's SHRM-CP, PHR for the creation of a Toledo Human Resources Program and authorize the city manager to execute the same. I will take a roll call vote. Jackie Burns. Yes. Andrew Keating.
Yes.
And Tracy.
Yes.
Hicks. And Jackie Kaufman. Frank Sylvia.
Yes, ma'am.
And I vote yes. It's unanimous, noting the Mayor Rod Cross is not here. All right, moving on to the discussion regarding parking restrictions along Main Street.
This item is in your agenda, by the way, see you on Tuesdays, Shauna. Yeah.
Thank you, John. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
This item is kind of come to our attention a fair number of times and went back and looked at trying to figure out exactly what it was that you had discussed some time ago. So Lisa was able to find these minutes from your August 28th session. Honestly, it wasn't crystal clear entirely what was approved, but what we're suggesting to you is a couple different things with respect to the parking issues and this generally the downtown circulation. One, I think there was a question about curb striping or curb painting for temporary parking in front of the Green Dragon. That's
So loading, unloading.
Mhm.
yeah, for voting, and that's fine. We can just go right ahead and do that. Public Works can, if that's consensus of council, we'll just get that done.
They actually already have I was gonna talk to you about it. They went out and bought the sign, loading, unloading, that they could have Public Works put in. I don't know if you can do that or not, but it's sitting there.
So we'll need something that's enforceable. So we have to now go back and take a look and see
Right.
how that matches up to the actual code.
So when we were at the LOC conference, there was a whole booklet that I picked up and I don't know why I grabbed it, but oh, maybe we'll use this. I know we were talking about parking and it's about parking laws and rules and how to structure it, do this and that. I cracked it open and looked at it once and I thought, oh, I'll bring it in for Brian or somebody. So I'll be bringing that in for Brian or somebody. And I'll just drop it off at the city and then you can get it to whoever you think.
So coupled with this, and I wanted you to see if you hadn't already seen this in the packet, the email from your city planner, from Justin Peterson. And so the balance of what I think you were hoping to see addressed will be addressed by the planning commission. If they're off, probably October, August or September, maybe October.
So you're saying I should just give it to my husband?
That's certainly fine, or you can have your husband give it to Justin.
Okay.
If it's the manual on uniform traffic control devices.
No, it's on parking, planning, parking and parking planning and some ideas and I don't know if it's best practices or what, but it's like this thick. I thought if nothing else, it can help me go to sleep. But I have tax manuals for that, so I haven't needed it, so I think I'll just give it to somebody else.
Yeah, no, if you pass it on, in the meantime, just know that the planning commission will take this up more comprehensively.
Great, okay.
Come back, hopefully come back with something this year. This calendar year to for something more substantive.
Jackie over there thinks I'm joking. You read the section on net operating losses and you're asleep in like 3 minutes.
No, I hear you.
Okay.
So this doesn't need a motion, right? No.
No, it's
Okay.
just discussion.
Okay, great. So does anyone have any other questions?
David, were you asking for consensus to paint something, or was that?
Yeah, actually consensus, well, yeah, I think consensus, I think I've sort of felt it, but yes, consensus just that you do want to see the loading zone.
Everybody rattle your head, yes.
Properly
You're in
designated, that'd be,
consensus. Okay,
We're
rattling our heads, yes.
yeah, whether it's the sign of Maple Water, whether it's green curving, whatever it is, but designated temporary loaded.
All right. And then-
I'll come see you tomorrow.
Not here tomorrow.
Then I will not come see you tomorrow. Just mess with you next time, man. Thanks, sir.
Can we move on?
Yes, let's move
Okay,
on.
I don't want to stop anyone from whatever they need to talk about. We're supposed to be moving to approve and authorize Mayor Cross to sign an executive safe drinking water and forest stewardship grant.
We can still do an authorize them.
We can do it later. Okay. And what grant?
Or we can authorize you.
Well, you can also authorize the mayor doesn't need to be here for him to be authorized.
Yeah, so we'll just authorize him and he can do it when he's.
So I'd like David to kind of talk about this.
Yeah, talk about it.
So you have the public works director here who can probably give you more answers than I can.
You're in the hot seat, Brian.
What would you like to hear?
But,
All right.
Break it down.
So the recommendation is a motion to approve authorization of Mayor Cross to sign and execute the safe drinking water revolving loan fund grant contract for source water protection from Business Oregon, project number 2024373. The background on this is the city of Toledo has received a safe drinking water and source protection grant from Oregon Business Development Department. The grant will be applied to the city's Mill Creek Forest Stewardship Plan and Sleds River Critical Area Protection Project. And it's a proactive effort to sustainable longevity for the city of Toledo's drinking water sources. Yeah, it will have to do with, the longevity and preserving our water sources at Mill Creek, the forest surrounding it, and then also at the Sleds intake.
John and I were just talking about this just last week. About the Mill Creek watershed and, the efforts that are needed to preserve it and protect our drinking water reserves and all of that. So it's interesting. I hadn't even looked at the packet yet,
It's a
but
$70,000 grant.
yeah,
That's a nice grant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
well, I think that's great. I would move to approve and authorize Mayor Cross to sign and execute the safe drinking water revolving loan fund grant contract for source water protection from Business Oregon, project number 2024373, if anybody's
Second.
interested.
All right, Tracy moved. Frank seconded to approve and authorize Mayor Cross to sign and execute the safe drinking water revolving loan fund grant contract for source water protection from Business Oregon, project 2024373. I will take a roll call vote. Jackie Kaufman. Yes. Jackie Burns.
Yes.
Frank, I'm trying to call you Frank. Andrew.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Frank. Tracy. And I vote yes. Goodness, noting that the mayor is my first grant on. Right. And on to are down here. The motion
To amend the employment agreement. between city to-
Yeah, please. Yep, amendment number one. Oh, perfect, even better. I was just trying to find it on my darn thing either. Oh, here we go, maybe. Oh. Yes, the amendment number one to employment agreement between the city of Toledo and David Klein.
So, couple different things. I didn't have an opportunity to talk to Suvani ahead of this, but so I don't know. I know that you had some interest in doing this executive session. It's up to you. It doesn't matter to me, but. Okay, so secondly, I did have a conversation with the mayor ahead of time. I'm cognizant of the fact that we presented you a tight budget, so I know that optics matter. But I also need to tell you that on the current allowance, I'm only able to be here 2 days more and stay one night. I was hoping to continue the pattern that I have now. If you can find a number in between what I've asked for and what you're currently providing, I would suggest dropping the number that I asked by 500. I'm pretty confident I can make it at least be able to stay 2 nights, 3 days in person in Toledo, and then work 2 days from outlet.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, when we had this discussion the last time, you were gonna go look and see if there were any other options that you could find that would work for you, that would be more economical, that would work, not something where they wanted a 12-month commitment or something like that, but something that would be reasonable and work for you. I'm assuming since you're bringing this back to us that you were simply not able to find anything.
Not really that I would like to do, frankly. So I'm really, I'm looking at this and saying, can I continue to support you either way? I can continue to support you either way. I think it's better that I do it in person. If I'm gonna stay, I'd rather, there are some other options, but honestly, there's not options I wish to pursue. I've seen the furnished, I've had a lot of you come to me with various options, and I really have done a
And
search.
none of them have, okay, that's all I was asking, is you have looked,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
so.
There are things, if I were on places, if I were on vacation, I say, look, jump on it, but the fact that I'm working for you and I need to, there's other realities for me.
So I'm confused on this, and I'm sure you can clarify it. It says here, I'm asking council to raise the allowance of 3,000 to maintain, but then below that, it says fiscal impact is 4,500 over 3 months.
Okay, it's because we're already spending $1,500, so it's only $4,500 more.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You answered it for me.
I appreciate, David, that you're cognizant that we're sitting here and, 24 hours ago talking about how we couldn't, afford desired, personnel, and we're making really difficult decisions and the significant cuts we've had to make to our budget from last year to this year. And I think where I really struggle with this is knowing some of the places that are out there that are affordable at $1,500 a month on month-to-month deals. I feel like this is coming across to me more as a lifestyle preference that we are potentially increasing the budget for, as opposed to a necessity. I appreciate that you have a particular style of living that you want to have when you are out here for a couple of nights a week. But it was only 2 months ago that you were comfortable with $1,500 a month. You came to us with a $3,000. You came to us with a $3,000 a month proposal originally. We were comfortable with $1,500 when we struggled with that. I really struggle with the idea that this is one of the best compensated positions in our city government. On top of being so comparatively well compensated compared to other people in our city government who are also receiving money for the cost of your living arrangements, which other employees do not have. $1,500 a month is a hefty discount on living arrangements, and I appreciate that you're maintaining two places of living. But that is a significant discount, and as somebody who was one of the people who had sent resources to you, I know the resources that I sent to you. I've lived in at least one of the things that was on that list. I feel very uncomfortable with increasing the budget, given how how many difficult budget decisions we just had to make this past week. This feels like we are supporting a lifestyle preference more than a necessity.
What I understand is the difference between then, when you came on, and now is not anticipating the increase in the lodging accommodations because of prime season. So, you know, when you say that, Andrew, I think that it feels like it's somehow that we're being played and we're not.
I don't think that's the case. But I do also think that those increases on nightly hotel rates were a known quantity 2 months ago as well. We know where we live. We think, you know, and I think that if you're coming into a contract that you know is going to be 6 months, 9 months, potentially, you know, that it's not just going to be for a month or two, but that's something that I think has to be factored at the beginning. But again, I come back to, I saw the listings of month-to-month places that are available, that are fully furnished and available. I saw one with an amazing view right on the waterfront with a huge window, fully furnished, 1-bedroom space for only $850. I don't know what standards you have that are different from my own, but for a couple of nights a week, that's half of what we're currently offering. A little bit more than half of the offering. I struggle because I want to fund necessary increases. And I'm having a really hard time with seeing this as a necessary increase, as much as I appreciate and want to provide for you the working environment that you believe you will thrive in. You know, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. That's something that I'm very, very appreciative of. But coming out of the budget approval cycle this past week, I don't feel like we have a whole lot of discretionary money to spend.
No, I actually just wrote down a note to Tracy and asked if we had 4,500 in the budget, and we don't.
I mean, we would have to take it out of our city council strategic reserve. And we're already transferring the majority of that strategic reserve to bolster the budget. We're down to brass nails. I mean, we don't have the extra funds. I appreciate that David likes where he's staying and that he hasn't found something else that he feels will meet his needs. But I'm kind of in agreement that, you know, I struggle with it too, coming out of the budget we had, but I struggled with it when he asked before, to be honest with you. I know there are places available. They might not be what you want. But the fact of life is we don't always get what we want. And, you know, I know people that are living in their cars right now, and I'm not in any way suggesting that you live in your car. I want to make that clear. But we have a responsibility to our city too. And we have to really tighten the belt on some things. And I mean, it was hard enough not being able to find the money for that position. And I'm still losing sleep over it. So
then the alternative, if I hear you correctly, is we don't raise it and we get you 1 day a week?
2 days.
Well, I would arrange to be able to hear at least 2 days, so the 1 night, 2 days. If I can stretch it further, I'll stretch it further.
Okay, so in 2 days here and 3 days offsite, I'm assuming you'd still be working offsite.
Yes.
Is it manageable?
For me, it's manageable, yes.
Is your job,
is it ideal?
are your responsibilities manageable?
So, yes and no. I mean, it is, I've worked 4 days remote and I worked for the city of Gresham 4 days remote. So I mean, that absolutely those things are manageable. Now, are they ideal? No. Is it better to be able to do your work in person, see people in person, deal with issues as they arise in person? Absolutely. Does it mean that the job can't be done? No, the job can be done. I can do the job for you and I will absolutely give it everything I can, my due to make sure it's done as well as it can be done. It will be, just by its nature, it is more limited. I do need to respond just to the fact that, again, back when we first had this conversation, I did note that the prices will go up in summer. I knew that. And did counter at the time saying that would happen. So that's the only thing I want to respond to. But other than that, yes, this, not making a change, we will still go forward and I will still manage your city on your behalf until you no longer want me to manage your city on your behalf or we have a successor in place.
Okay, so I want to share with you guys, I had a conversation with Mayor Cross right before the meeting and he threw out there, he said, if we were not comfortable with the price increase for this, that we could offer, that he works 3 days here and 2 days.
He's saying he can only work 2 days here.
I'm just letting you know what the mayor said, so,
Well, and we
being
don't,
transparent.
and we don't have in our employment agreement any set expectations for how many days you're working in person and stuff like that. So really, we don't have to negotiate that aspect. But certainly, I respect and appreciate your candor. I appreciate all of the details that you've given. I have confidence that you can do the necessary work of our city as you see fit with the budget that we've provided. And I personally feel comfortable with your ability to do work remotely. And I appreciate that you're going to do what you can to make the budget that we feel we can afford work.
I wish we had it, but after last night, it just feels really, really.
Well, the last time we talked about
Yeah.
this, I looked right at David and I said he deserves it.
Yeah,
But coming out of last night,
if we had the money, it wouldn't be an issue. We wouldn't even.
coming out of last night where
Yeah.
the decision was, eventually, it's not the decision, but we have to let Katie go because we don't have the money for her position. So, I mean. we
So
don't have the money.
in that case, then how do we get access to you? What the lines of, so when you're off site, how do we get a hold of it?
So you will certainly have my cell phone, which is I think you all have that, and anybody's welcome to phone me anytime. You have the city email will continue to be able to reach me through that. Many of you may have my personal email. You may have seen me if you've kept it from my original mailings. You're all welcome to use that as well. We can arrange video communications the same way we can now. So I'm doing this currently 1 day a week regardless. So on Monday, so we're just expanding the number of days during the week. So likely I would probably come in on Wednesday, stay Wednesday night and work Thursday and leave, go back on Thursday. So I'd have to.
The offices are currently closed on Fridays, so what we're actually, if I'm hearing correctly, if you were doing 1 night a week, 2 days in person, we're really just reducing by 1 day.
My goal would have been to go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in person and do Monday, Fridays remotely. So now I'm just gonna have to pick which of the, and I'll keep looking for, opportunities to get better pricing on lodging as well, because from my perspective, if I can get a deal that works for me, I'll do that. I did examine, including, I think that 1 bedroom you're talking about, and it wasn't available.
It wasn't available anymore.
Huh?
It wasn't available anymore at
Yeah,
that
I
point.
searched fairly high and low on that thing, and there's a lot of things that end up on the internet that aren't real.
Yeah.
Or they want you to lock in for 12 months, or, oh my gosh, you're a smoker, it doesn't matter that you don't smoke in the house, or there's all sorts of arbitrary things where it might not work out, I get that.
Yeah, majority were available after the high season.
Well, then that doesn't.
So the one
The site that I shared is was originally designed for travel medical professionals. And so they tend to keep places listed as long as there's any availability. But yeah.
So let me just say, I perfectly understand. I understand that we put you in a very difficult position last night. I didn't necessarily want to come back to you with this, but you did ask the table and bring it back.
Yeah.
And so I'm perfect, we will just do what we need to do to make this work on your behalf.
So we don't do a motion or anything,
No.
since.
And we won't bring this back for your consideration again, so just.
I flip-flopped on this one so many times over the past couple of weeks.
If the money was there, it wouldn't be an issue.
Last night was what kind of decided it for me.
I'd say that was the biggest thing for me,
It's
because
the only thing pushing me.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
After
we
listening-
need it.
as somebody who learned really harshly during the pandemic, how much I prefer to work in person. And how
So I don't do a
important it is.
motion and we all vote no?
I don't need it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Since
I'm reading a consensus that you just want me to stop asking you.
Sorry, David.
No, but
Here's the thing though, David. If you go and find a place that say it's $1,800 a month,
Talk to us.
come see us.
come back and talk to us.
Yeah.
If I'm still with you in September, I'm sure I will.
Well, but even if you find something before then, and we're talking about that small of an increase, then come back and talk to us. If it's only 500 more, come back and talk to us. We
Can
want,
always come back.
yes, don't think that we're closing the door and we don't want you to discuss it with us ever again. We're not saying that, we don't want that.
No,
We're just really struggling with it
And I'll
right
tell
now.
you that, you know, there's probably people, you know, there's some nice, very charming places. I looked at a cabin the other day. Absolutely charming, but communication was.
You don't have
If it was
internet or,
vacation,
yeah.
if it was vacation, I would love it. I could turn off my phone. I don't know, I could just read books. I'd be a happy camper.
Yeah.
But that doesn't work for being a city manager.
Yeah.
I need reliable communications among, probably more than anything else.
Don't, like we're saying, don't think the conversation has to be over. But
If something changes.
if
let us
something
know.
changes and it seems like we can meet in the middle better, then we're more than willing to do that.
Okay.
But right now with last night, I think it's been such a blow and I think the answer is not right now.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate how difficult this is. So don't get me wrong. This is, I recognize this was gonna be a tough conversation, I mean, particularly after last night.
Yeah.
So
That was fast.
not to worry. Thank you.
All right, so all we have left is the issue tracker. Does anybody have any questions about it?
Yes. That's kind of what that training needed to be.
Okay.
We need to, now that ballots are done and over with, we need to see about getting the amendment added for changing the charter for our interim city manager, because that has to go back to the vote. We just need to change the wording about where our interim can live. And that would stop this whole problem with David, with him just living in Independence. Currently,
Right.
there's no clear definition in our charter. So in speaking with Rod, we need to send it back to the voters just for the definition change. So I don't know if you can add that to your issue tracker or when we need to have it done by or what.
We can, if you, I just have a consensus if you all agree to that.
I think generally a charter review.
Yeah.
The amendment to be for that itself, yes.
Well, because part of this also gets into, we have a definition of city attorney, for example, and we are currently employing a service provider via services contract. So starting to think about how that affects our charter stated city attorney type position and things like that.
Isn't there something else we need to change, like about the line where you can have your chicken pen and stuff? Or what?
No, that was deleted.
That was deleted.
It was deleted, it was removed from
Either way.
our ordinances.
Either way, a charter
Back in
review.
he removed it.
Okay, well, I didn't know if we fixed it. so.
Can I suggest, rather than just coming back with a,
I guess that doesn't go all the way back, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Wow, sorry, guys.
can I suggest that Suvani and I put our heads together about, you know, getting you some for during a study session?
Yeah.
With respect to whatever, you know, one, to talk about process. If, because there is a process, you know, and you're absolutely familiar with it, you know, for amending the charter. And secondly, to maybe do a review that maybe other things that you want to go out to the voters with. You want to, you know, you don't want to take too many bites of the apple at once. It's a difficult process to begin with. So we'll put that on the issue tracker that Suvani and I will brainstorm the charter process, and then we will bring it up at a coming study session.
Perfect. And then the only other
Not the
question
next
on
one,
the
but
issue
they come.
tracker is when we reviewed the fire policies, I thought we approved them. The new policies for the fire department?
You did.
How come it has to go to our?
Well, no, I thought it needed to go to the attorney. We had some
So,
questions.
hold on, right, so the contract with East Lincoln Fire District is different from the fire department policies.
We didn't-
Right, you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So-
talking about the fire policies that we had just approved for Toledo.
Yes,
Yeah.
but part of the motion was also that the policies were going to be reviewed by the attorney within 6 months.
I just saw that. I'm like, wait, huh?
There was surrounding the.
Okay.
Yeah.
The adopt, there was an urgency surrounding the adoption of those policies then because we were
Yeah.
facing OSHA concerns.
Okay.
That's what the chief lap off for the head chairman. So the idea was you were still concerned that, well, do these actually meet legal, requirements? And our response to you was, well, why don't we kind of ready, fire, aim? Why don't we go ahead and adopt these now, knowing that we're gonna head off a lot of November and an urgency. At the same time, we'll give Sulani the opportunity to
I
do
remember
the
that now.
review that we need to, and we can come back and further amend them if needed.
Yes.
Because it was talked about being a living document that can be changed.
Yep.
Yes.
So just one kind of point of clarification, and don't know if this is something needs to be done about, but one of the things I noticed after the fact was the motion that I had actually offered for that item 2 weeks ago was suggesting a 6-month review of the policies. So 6 months in, we say, how are they working? What needs to be addressed? What Rod actually stated the motion was a review within 6 months. And I think I want to just kind of clarify, for process purposes, is the expectation that we are simply saying, hey, within 6 months, our city attorney is going to review them, make changes as necessary, put them into place? Or is that process that I was actually moving for originally, my original intention of after 6 months, we will go back and look at how well these policies are working?
Okay, so I took that and I took that motion, or I took that direction to mean that the former, that the policies would be subjected to further review by the city attorney. Presumably the fire departments will be, these are living, breathing documents, so that you will be, you may be receiving policy amendments from time to time anyway.
Okay. And that's fine. I only bring it up because the actual language of the motion that I stated was about a 6-month review at 6 months.
Well, let's
As a-
for that now then.
As opposed to, and we can do that, as opposed to, and this is why I'm not sure if something needed to be done, as opposed to, I think Rod changed the word. And I didn't know if
I
that,
think I took the mayor's direction, maybe less so than your motion. I didn't, I just
Yeah.
went off what I understood the evening's direction to be.
so can I make a motion now that we have I move that the newly adopted fire department policies be reviewed at the 6-month mark from their adoption to determine effectiveness and changes that need to be made.
I'll second that.
I think that was
Okay.
May 7th. Was when we adopted those.
Okay, but the request date for the review is today. So
As for,
From the moment of.
before you act on that, can I ask for a little clarity from my own understanding?
yeah.
So
I have no
as I
problem.
take this motion, if you pass it, is that regardless of, well, not regardless, that we would still continue to review these for legal conformity.
Yes.
At the same time, we're going to go back and review these for effectiveness, if you will, in 6 months.
Yeah, to make sure that they're working, that no changes need to be made
Right,
or.
okay, that's clear.
Lisa, can I say what Andrew
You have an
said?
active.
Or did you write it down?
I didn't write it down.
So can,
Capture the rest of it.
Okay.
hey, Andrew, before we do that, can you add to your motion to have the fire chiefs come in and talk with us? To explain how they're working in their house, because we're not in there? Or do we need to add that added?
Hold on.
Counselor, did you want the city manager to invite the fire chiefs in for that
Yes.
meeting? Is that what you're asking?
That's what I was
Let
asking,
me
yeah.
back up for the sake of the motion. The motion doesn't state what the process.
Okay,
So I would say that the city manager would have discretion to determine what the process is going to be for what I've moved for.
that works.
Yeah.
So yes, please, invite them in.
The motion doesn't state a process.
No.
Sounds good.
You'll have a new city manager. They may not be as,
I have no idea what to say. I don't remember
they
what he
may not
said.
quite go to the tower the way I'm asked to do.
But I have to remember what I said. I move that the
You have a motion on the floor. Are you amending the motion?
I was asked to repeat it.
Because I have no idea what he said. And I don't think I can say Andrew made a motion, what he said.
I
Yeah.
I move that
City recorder, you
the,
have, excuse me, Counselor, I think the city recorder may be able to repeat back what you
I
did.
have some of it. Newly adopted fire policies be reviewed at 6 months, and then I didn't quite capture the rest of what you said.
That was really the goal.
That was it.
that's fine,
Oh, that was it?
that's fine.
All right, so Andrew has moved that the fire department
For effectiveness and
policies
necessary changes.
be reviewed in 6 months for effectiveness and necessary changes, and it was seconded by Frank.
No, Tracy.
Oh, Tracy, I don't know who that.
It's okay.
I swear to God, my brain's gonna be better in a couple of seconds. It's just a couple of years, you gotta wait for thing. All right, I will take a roll call vote. Jackie Coffey. Yes. Frank Sylvia.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Jackie Thurman. Yeah, Tracy Max.
Yes.
Andrew
fairness.
Keating. Kim Bush, yes, it's unanimous with Rod not being here, and
Thank you for letting me clarify that.
yeah, no, I'm learning as.
There's
we
something
go.
else I want to make sure gets on our issue tracker. Is this okay for me to bring this?
Yeah, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Don't look at me like that, Brian. It's not you. Okay.
Not this time.
He's always so good. There's nothing for him. He's always doing everything he can. I want to, in a future city council meeting, we need to be seriously discussing some public safety funding. Or we are gonna lose our police department. And we do not want to lose our police department. We do not want to go the way that Wallport and Siletz have gone. It doesn't lead to a healthy community. And so we need to come up with some solutions for funding.
I will say, and I brought this up before, and God, I don't want to tack on any more charges to our people.
Well, that's the type of thing
but-
that we can discuss then. Because I think I want us all to come to the meeting and you know, have some public input, and we gotta come up with some solutions.
Just the table I sat at the conference, when we were talking about different things and we were talking about public safety. Every single community sitting at the table has a public safety charge on their utility bill. And we don't, and they were shocked that we weren't doing that. So again, I don't want to start charging people more, but that is a normal thing in communities.
I think we need to get a lot of public input on that.
Yes.
Post it like weeks in advance and see how that's coming in.
And have them bring ideas.
Yes.
What are their ideas? Bring us, you know, give us solutions, bring us ideas to the table, because, you know, Toledo's given up enough.
And I think one of the really interesting things about the concept of having that public safety charge and stuff and really opening it to the community, not just for this, but
Yeah.
the community, I think we see on Facebook and we see sometimes in public comment and all over the place. The community will tell us what they think is important, what really matters to them. So I think one of the, you know, sort of frustrating things that I've been feeling is I wasn't on council when WVCC was decided on, right? That was one of the kind of last things before I joined city council. And so I mostly learned about it because I was paying a lot of attention in that run up after the election and leading to being on council. A lot of people are learning about that now.
And they're very unhappy.
And they are talking about it a lot, and they are really kind of emphasizing this is something that was really important to us. And I think this is one of those examples, and that if we were to go to the community and say, we don't have the funding to have a police department like you are used to, like you want, like will make you happy, is this something that you are willing to pay to help us keep? Then we might get a different response.
Well, yeah, and
right?
I think so. And I think this needs to be not just, and I agree, it's not just a discussion that we need to have there on the dais, but it needs to be happening with our community. And so that is something I definitely want to bring back to a near future city council. I'd like to see it put on an agenda for discussion, but also,
It needs to be a town hall.
it needs, yeah, we need to work on that outreach, and we need to start the discussion now. And otherwise what happens is we kick that can down the road, and we saw what happened. We lost our, you know, we lost our dispatch. What else are we gonna lose? And it's just, last night was
Yeah.
Harsh.
So harsh.
Is there a way to provide funding via like a ballot initiative?
Yes.
So we just try to plan for a future
Yes.
study session. on
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, now is not the time, but.
Well,
No, now's not the time to go over
Yeah.
the options, but you're right. We need a future
Yeah.
session, whether it's a work session or something.
And we'll, we as staff will try to prepare you some information that, about what other communities are doing is like and what.
Yeah, I know.
So, but that would be a little bit down the road, I believe.
Okay.
In the town hall would be great.
Yeah.
I only have.
Well, I am an expert on that. If you want to have an executive session and sit down and talk about it, I would be happy to come and talk with you about how to resolve all those issues.
Yeah, you just want us to go with the sheriff. That's all you always push, Barry, but that's fine. This isn't time for public comment.
That's not the case.
All right. I have tiny little nitpicky thing for the issue tracker, and that's just, can we adjust the date of the request for the council tech upgrades to February 5th when it was actually requested? This isn't about calling anybody out. This is actually partially, one of the things that I think is really important is this is a public document. And this is something that we have continually bumped back as we've put other priorities on the table, and I think showing.
I need a new
things that are-
computer.
That's on that. And I do want to say, I'm grateful to David, because I know that, this is something that is a project that I care about, that, council, gave me the go-ahead to kind of lead this project. I've been kind of wanting to get forward, but also trying to be respectful of the fact that this should not be the highest priority. And so part of this is gratitude that you're helping move this along. And also let's show people that this is not something that we have made a huge
I
priority.
didn't capture the change that you want to make.
February 5th is the request date. It wasn't requested 2 weeks ago, it was requested in February.
That was probably the date that we put it on the list. as opposed to the-
And I think it just helps people know that when it comes to things that make our jobs easier or things that are, for us, it's a nice little note to say we keep pushing this back.
Well, part of the purpose of this thing is also to demonstrate what the workload is, what we're trying to get back. One, it's the transparency and the accountability to you. It's also the bit of show and tell. There's a lot to be done. There's regular work to be done by the staff, and we regularly scour the building to see what staff's left. So it's a little bit of tongue in cheek, but
Questions, it's unrelated to that, but, East Lincoln County went back to their board or are we still in negotiations? Are we still kind of separately dealing with things with the East Lincoln County agreement?
so,
I don't want you to tell me anything you can't tell me in open session, but I'm just wondering, things are still going?
things are still going.
Good.
I met with the two chiefs, Chief Ewing and Chief Lapoff. We met in my office. I can't say that was particularly productive. But we're still talking. At this point, we're talking by email. The proposals are not at this point getting closer. If anything, they may be getting a little further apart. We definitely aren't a yes. I can tell you that much. I think tonight's election results will probably play a little bit into how this will go forward. I'm not sure that anything that occurred tonight will change where we are at this point. So that's sort of vague in terms of responses.
I just wanted to know that we're still working.
We're still working on it.
I think we had sort of I think I had the expectation we were going to see something about it tonight, so this is helpful to know that things are still moving forward.
What I'll share with you is fairly obvious to me that we don't want to be negotiating publicly.
Yes.
With another, two agencies, let alone one other agency. You need your staff to do that work. They need their staff to do that work. And hopefully we can get to yes and come to you with a real deal that everybody has signed off on. The deal that you saw obviously was not a consensus document for anybody.
Yeah.
We thought it was, that's why it was presented to you, but it wasn't. So now we're kind of back to a little bit of starting point.
And are we planning, or do we need to have an executive session to review that document before the next time we do it in open
The
meeting?
next time we have a conversation about it, if we have an actual tentative arrangement, you will absolutely see that in an executive session first.
Thank you. I think that better matches the.
But I thought, again, I thought we were further along than we were, because I didn't have to live the experience that you had lived.
We were past it, so we're good.
We will absolutely need a conversation in executive session.
David.
All right.
This is great, by the way, the issue track.
Thank you.
Okay. David, did you need to say anything else tonight?
I'm fine, thank you. So much.
Okay, any counselors? What's that? Yeah. Is anybody on council?
I do. I just wanted to inform everybody, I started my emails to every single mayor in Lincoln County,
Oh, great.
outside of Walport because, well, that's in limbo. I've decided that I'm gonna email the mayor of Siletz as well. And this is all about the safety corridor. While I'm not asking for 229 to be a safety corridor, I will if he asks me to. But I want all the mayors in on this. So far, Lincoln City is gonna have a meeting next month, I think 7th or 9th, and that this is gonna be added, as well as I talked to Jan as well.
So if it saves anybody's life, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even one.
my goal is to just have it started in every entrance in Lincoln County, every highway, 101, 18, and 20. That's my goal.
Would be good.
That's all I got.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Jackie.
So just for the sake of balance, the dais can actually shift over about 6 inches. Just saying.
That drives me crazy.
Okay, let's lift it up. Let's move it.
Not tonight. And just one other thing is that going through the budgeting process last night, I'm really impressed that, I mean, Judy, you must have done copious amounts of work along with you, David, and I'm grateful that it wasn't left up to a pea brain like me to have to come up with that, or whoever. I know Judy. I don't know about you. Am I giving you too much praise here?
Probably enjoy Fred. I think Judy and Cindy did the.
Cindy Olsen.
Okay, so I'll take back all but 25% for you, and the rest, Judy, you can split, but thank you from the bottom of my heart, really.
I didn't want to do it. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
Just reading the book gave me a headache.
Yeah.
From the beginning, Judy knew better than letting me dive into it. She
Yeah.
did it for me. She's
Just
leave it alone,
smart.
leave it alone for a while. I'll handle it.
Well done, well done. Okay, that's it.
All right. Jackie, Andrew. You look like you're thinking really hard. No, come on. You said all you can say. Tracy?
Thank you, everybody, for all the work on the budget. I got through it. It was a tough budget this year.
Yeah.
And
It was no fun.
no, I'm really, 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 really grateful that Judy was on board for this budget.
Thank you, Jesus.
Great job. Ed.
And I'm really grateful that Judy was there to answer questions that I had and discuss things through with me. And we didn't end up with the answers that I would have liked to see. But when the money's not there, it's not there. I don't like telling people they don't have their jobs. That's a tough one for me.
Yeah, 600,000 in the hole is kind of thing.
But I know that we're a strong community and we have a council that works together and we have great staff and we are going to get through this. We are going to be able to tackle every problem that we put our minds to, and we will. That's just what we're like. So I look forward to working with you guys on the rest of this year and continuing to tackle the things that a budget has identified as areas that we need to work on, areas that are needs, and just be there to support our staff as they navigate this. Because, when you have reduced funding, it's hard for the staff too. They have to be extra careful of what they spend money on and how they spend it and making sure that they fit it into it. I mean, if you have a budget that has more leeway, when an emergency comes up, say Brian has a water line break. We don't want that, but when that happens and you have in a budget that can absorb it,
it makes it a lot easier for our staff to cope and do the things they need to do. When we don't have a budget that supports those things, when we don't have those, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, when we have a budget that doesn't have the money to support emergencies like we're in now, it makes it more stressful for our staff. So, they're gonna need our support through this year, and they're gonna need our continued support, and they're gonna need our continued work to bring more income in and to find some real solutions for some of the problems we're gonna be facing in the near future. So I just want to thank everybody for all their work on that, because it's not a small thing at all.
Does somebody have their hand up?
Oh, no. I just wanted to add
You had
a huge thanks to Tracy for leading that process.
I didn't have a choice.
I'm so glad you did it, not me, because you did a great job.
They railroaded me.
Very glad I know. No, Tracy, you know, one of the things that I really appreciated was Tracy made sure that time was allocated to every single page of that document. And that's a diligence that perhaps only an awesome city councilor / accountant would bring to it. So I do just want to make sure that there's some recognition, because I think more people watch these meetings than watch our budget committee meetings. So you know, so a huge thank you to Tracy for leading that process for the main city budget, to Kim for chairing the urban renewal agency budget, to the community volunteers who stepped up. This is constantly a challenge for us to fill those seats. But one of the best ways that you can contribute to making this city stronger is volunteering for our planning commission, which has a vacancy, our budget committee, which has 2 vacancies. Show up because that's where the decisions are made. So thank you to everybody who did.
Yep, get off the bleachers and play in the game.
You can.
I have nothing. So with that, if everybody has said what they can say, I call this meeting adjourned.
At what time?
At 8:16, there's a glare on the. Yeah. 8:16.